What up, and welcome to the party that is PlayStation Generation. My name is Rice, your friendly neighborhood PlayStation Hokage. And today I will be on my best behavior because I'll be your host this fine Sunday. So y'all better buck up and strap in. And of course, as always, I am joined here with the Trash Television Tracker, the Prince of the PlayStation Pro, the K-pop demon hunter himself, Matt.
That was incredible. 5 stars. Well, I think that might be one of the best intros I've ever received in the history of my life. I'm good, man. I'm very excited to be on this journey hosted by you yourself and your beautiful face. I'm in it. You know what I mean? I'm ready to talk some games. I'm ready to talk some future. I'm ready to peer into some crystal bowls.
Oh, some bowls.
And see what's happening next.
That's what the energy is today. I'm doing well, man. Thank you so much for asking. It's been a great weekend. Went to the beach yesterday.
Ooh, nice.
You know, I don't go to the beach, but we made a day out of it, and it was good. It was my brother-in-law's 40th birthday. Shout out to Tim. Happy birthday, Tim.
Shout out Tim.
Yeah. You know, we out here, we getting old, but we stay young. We stay young. Last but certainly not least, the streamer phenomenon from Fiji, Denirikun. What up? Are you getting rich or are you dying while streaming?
I'm dead right now. Let's leave it at that. I am dead tired, but I'm happy to be here. What's up, man?
Hey, that's great, man. I hear you on the tired front. You know, we stay tired. That's the one thing that stays consistent, you know. If anybody out there struggles with consistency, I know that you're consistently tired as well. So, you know, shouts out to you, all the power to you, and I hope that you are staying up. All right, fam, you know the drill. What are we playing this week? Danny, why don't you share with us what you have been doing, what you've been playing?
I'm sure it's the same answer that everybody's going to say here right now, but I've been hopping into that Battlefield beta.
Let's go. All right.
Yeah, we had time to do it today. But yeah, I've been doing that as well as a little bit of Bravely Default on the side. So yeah, good times all around.
Good. Staying true to Bravely Default, and that's good. You know, there have been episodes where we've worried about whether or not your games really get the love that they deserve. But you know, I'm happy to hear that Bravely Default is getting caressed in the way that it needs to be. So
it's getting the love, my friend. It is getting the love.
So besides Persona, what are you playing, Matt?
God damn, you know that's right. That thing still owns my life. I got Makoto this week. So I was very, very that intro is quite impressive. Ron in the chat.
Let's go, Ron. Appreciate you, Ron.
You know I was down on SB. Yeah, I've been playing more Story of Seasons. Can't talk about much more of that yet, but I'll have more on that very soon. I haven't played Battlefield yet. I've had a hell of a busy weekend filled with friends and family, but the minute that I'm done this podcast, I got that thing loaded. Me and my boy, we are Battlefield bros. We go back decades playing this shit together. He's locked and loaded. I'm locked and loaded. So we're going to hop in together and give this beta a little whirl. I'm hoping to get some more time with it next weekend. So I'll definitely have more thoughts on next week's show, but I'm very excited.
Yes.
Like killer numbers. There was like over 300,000 people in the waiting room at points.
Crazy.
Like just insane numbers. We'll talk about it, but like this as a lifelong Battlefield fan makes me very happy. I can feel the hype for a Battlefield launch, and I have not felt that in a minute, you know?
Absolutely, man. The energy is crazy, and this is the quality that people really wait for when it comes to an oversaturated genre, you guys. And so Battlefield is delivering on all fronts. I'm really excited to hear your thoughts, Matt, because I know that Battlefield runs deep for you. As for myself, I have been playing Expedition 33. I am sorry to report that I have not finished it, but but you know, like you have said, I have that. It's installed. It's ready to go. I've played through maybe 6 more hours since last time, and that would have been at the beginning of Act 2. And so I'm deep in it, and I'm not gonna stop. So let's just say out here, let's put it out in the air that this is going to be completed for the next episode, and I will share my final thoughts on Expedition.
And if it doesn't, And if you
And if it
don't finish
doesn't,
it, when we all get
then
together,
mhm.
you're buying us pizza.
That and on top of that, I will cosplay as anything that you guys want me to on this podcast.
Listen, I'm gonna have to take a real long shower tonight. You know what I mean? And just really get into the spank. I mean, really
Oh,
contemplate my thoughts and emotions on this one. You know, Rice putting that pressure
absolutely.
on himself.
I need a full rounded answer for that, please.
You better believe
Absolutely. I have to. Otherwise, I need to finish it. Other than Expedition 33, I have actually been playing Battlefield. I've been really enjoying my time. It's fun. It's really, really great to just jump in with friends and really like just be surprised again. You know what I mean? Like that's a fun feeling. That's a fun feeling to have, man. I've been playing first person shooters forever, but like there are some nice things that really brought me back, and also some cool mechanics that I'm just like, yo, okay, dope. This is definitely, I think is is better than the COD experience right now. So that's big.
I have to ask how you're both feeling about it, because obviously, like, Denny, like, I know you literally were just playing some 2042. You know, Rice, I know you're well versed in all things shooters.
Sure.
I just have to ask, because like I'm chomping at the bit to get on and play. How's it feeling?
Better.
Yeah, go on, Denny.
So I'll do a direct comparison to Call of Duty, because I actually had this conversation earlier today. Call of Duty feels very, like, your character feels really light, and it feels very arcadey. I feel like I go back to
buy Domino's pizza for the crew and cosplay as the Noid, right?
Yeah, I think that's what we got to do. That's the perfect vibe.
I got you. Those are the stakes right there.
So you know, Call of Duty feels very arcadey. Whereas Battlefield 6, I felt like I've had the chance to take my time, be a little bit more tactical. And it feels better. It feels like a shooter that like you would play, like if you wanted some sort of military experience. I've enjoyed it immensely. It feels better than Battlefield 2042. Like even Battlefield 2042 felt a little kind of, I use this phrase light, just you run around everywhere, your jumps are crazy. This just felt really solid, really heavy, really grounded. Just everything had a good feel to it.
Yeah, hell yeah. And to add to that, I think that like I was jumping in with a squad of like 4 or 5, sometimes even 6. And the fact that like you're choosing roles and you're kind of intentional about what you're wanting to do on the battlefield is so fun. And like I noticed just kind of out of nowhere in our first game that our comms were so intentional. We weren't just talking shit the whole time. Like we were actually trying to get an objective done, or like, hey, medic, like I need this, I need a repair, blah 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 blah. That the tank is fucking, you know what I'm saying? So like it was very intuitive and intentional. So those are my biggest notes right now. I still want to play more. I want to jump right back in and invite more people to play. Yeah,
see,
just widen the experience.
That's something that I really love about Battlefield compared to really any other. I know there's stuff like, you know, Hell Let Loose and some of these other shit. I fucking can stand that game when I tried to play it. But like Battlefield, especially compared to COD, compared to Fortnite, like you're kind of capped in your level of teamwork when it comes to your Fortnites, your Apex, your COD. You know what I mean? Like you can get into duos, trios, even, you know, quads, but that's kind of where it really kind of caps out. Right?
Sure.
When you get, and even on team deathmatch or COD, like, yeah, you can have a rounder team, but things are just moving so fast that like you can hop into Battlefield with 5, 6, 7, 8 people and still have like a really cooperative experience across the board, because then you might be swapping out. Like, okay, you take the tank, we're gonna take the, you know, the Humvees beside you. Like there's so much more that you can do that makes it feel like this grand warfare that I feel like has been lacking from Battlefield for a hot minute. Like Battlefield 1 was the last time that I feel like really nailed that feeling. So I'm really happy to hear that your experience, Rice, playing with so many people and how good that feels, because that's something I feel like has been missing for a minute. And like the thing I love about Battlefield is I'll hop in solo and have a fantastic time trying to like feel out the rest of the team, even if I don't know anyone. I'll hop in on duos, or I'll hop in a squad of 5 or 6 people, and every time the experience feels different, but at the same time the same. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's consistent, and yet it provides experiences that feel new. And what's great too is that you know, one of the biggest complaints that people have with COD multiplayer is like, oh man, you're getting spawn killed, especially on smaller maps and stuff like that. And There is a bit of, you can be strategic in where you deploy and where you spawn, and communicate that to your squad. So it's like, yeah, it's very, very intuitive, and I'm just having a great time. There's more to talk about, but I'm sure that will kind of evolve over time. Which is actually a great segue into this first article here by Derek Nichols on Game Rant. Battlefield 6 open beta has an exclusive PlayStation 5 skin. During the Battlefield 6 open beta, Sony is offering PS5 players a free cosmetic reward, the Advance Party Soldier skin, just for participants on PlayStation, with no extra purchases or challenges required. This understated skin features muted military tones with subtle blue accents, fitting Battlefield's grounded aesthetic. While some critics see this as a clever platform exclusive strategy echoing past PlayStation deals, others suggest that this may eventually reach Xbox and PC, possibly around October 2026. That remains speculative. So I wanted to kind of come with the question. We've been talking about this idea of exclusivity, or, PlayStation first, and, this experience that Sony and PlayStation have kind of revered over decades. Is this something that would steer consumers to get a PlayStation? Is that enough? I wonder, Matt, what do you think?
I don't think that this will be enough to steer consumers to a PlayStation, but I do think that this may steer more people to like hop in and check out the beta. Like, I think for a lot of people, and clearly seeing the numbers that this beta is putting up, if I'm sitting there and I'm like, all right, I'm going to play the beta. Do I want to play on my PS5 or do I want to play on my PC? Or, I get that skin on PS5. Yeah, I might as well load it up there. It costs me nothing. It literally makes no inherent difference unless you want to play mouse and keyboard. I don't know if this would, move the dice, like, move the needle for anybody unless there's a lot more that we haven't seen yet. But I do think it's a good way to incentivize people to hop in and check it out on PlayStation rather than doing so on a different platform. I mean, like, free skin is a free skin. Who doesn't just want a free skin? Really, why not? Just add it to the arsenal. Put that in your wardrobe.
Why not? Right? Denny, do you have any additional thoughts to that?
Additional? No, I think it's the same thought here. I don't think it's going to move anything for people to buy it exclusively on PS5. I mean, I'm going to try the beta on both. I'm going to load it up on PC. The skin hasn't really been like, gotta get that for me. So I'm going to play it on both, see where it feels best for me, and make my decision there.
Yeah, honestly, like, it's great that people don't have to worry too much about where they're playing it. Also speaks to the generation of consoles that we have, that it's running Battlefield 6, because it's a beautiful game. It's beautiful, and so much going on as well. So, like, it really does speak to the hardware that we have, right?
Give me them destruction physics.
All
Give
of
me
it.
them. Give me
all
them.
of it. You want to hide behind that wall? Yo, let me take that wall down.
I want to turn this game off and like have nightmares. You know what I mean? Like, give me a bit of that PTSD. That BTSD.
Oh, you'll get it.
You're not going to be hiding anywhere. And that's the thing, man. It's like, it really is. It feels like chaos, but I felt so, I guess, invigorated to keep playing because I was playing with the squad. You're communicating through the chaos, and that win feels that much more satisfying when you get there. So yeah, I encourage everybody to check out the beta. It's on again from the 14th to the 17th. Yeah, get on that. And some more follow-up news from last week's episode, where Denny and Matt had talked about a little bit of legal stuff between Sony and Tencent. The controversy has definitely evolved, in that Tencent has decided to strip down its Steam and promo materials of most of the overt copycat imagery, delayed the game's release to late 2027, and overhauled storefront messaging and media assets to distance itself from the Horizon brand. Now, last week, you guys had been chatting and talked about, the question was asked, what do they have to do to kind of get out of this mess? And I think that you guys landed on the fact that there's going to be a tough one to kind of get out of this. But it looks like they're trying to make some moves. That said, what do you think the kind of consumer reaction or response will be after all this controversy. Matt, what do you think?
I see. That's the thing. People like us,
Mhm.
I those of us who are plugged in, who pay attention to the news, who like who are active in the scene, for sure
Sure.
will be following the story with like one eye open, just because I kind of think it's more funny than anything else. Like
Totally.
like we've already talked about Horizon fatigue and how much just from PlayStation, how much Horizon we've been shoveled down our throats over the course of the last handful of years, with more to come. Um, you couldn't pay me enough to go out and play another game that is basically Horizon at home.
Yes.
So I feel like I don't think people are going to care enough. I don't think this is
Mhm.
going to do anything for people to be like, "Oh, is this a new Horizon game?" You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I feel like anybody who would incidentally come across this game is somebody who would know what's the deal is. I don't even like I don't even know if we have confirmation that this is going to come out on PlayStation. I can't imagine they would let them onto their storefront,
That would
with
be
a,
hilarious.
with a game like this, right? So I feel like people just aren't going to care, and anybody who's plugged in as we are is probably watching the story with like a more of a confused amusement than any sort of like, I can't wait for
Yeah.
what is this game called? Lights of Motorim. Like, I'm
Yes.
so excited for it. Give me my robot dinosaurs that aren't Horizon. Um, what I really hope happens, and the Horizon franchise has historically, every time one of those games comes out, it's up against something that steals its shadow. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like whether it was shit, I can't remember what it was the first time. Breath of the Wild against the original
Yes.
Horizon. There was something that launched like close to or alongside Forbidden West that kind of again ate its lunch a little bit.
A little
Um,
bit.
I would really laugh if the next Horizon is kind of internally planned for around the same time, and like Horizon gets the opportunity
Right.
to eat another game's lunch for once, but at the
Mhm.
same time, in the off chance that these two launch together and Light of Motorim is like exceedingly better, that
Oof.
might be one of the funniest things I will ever witness on my time on
Absolutely.
this robot Earth. Um, so yeah, I don't know. I'm like half watching this with like a bated breath to be like, what are they going to do? How much are they really going to strip out of this? Because like you can do whatever you want to promo material. The game itself,
Yes.
that is a much bigger overhaul.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. They're gonna have to do a lot of work to, I mean, the article states to distance themselves, but I think that you need to make a completely different thing, to be honest. Denny, like, are there any additional thoughts that you have on this issue? I know that you
I,
initially brought it up last week, but
I'm just waiting to see what they do.
yeah,
Removing imagery and all that stuff is great, but if the game is still Horizon, it's still Horizon. Maybe
yeah,
they should focus on stealing a different IP like The Last of Us, because don't have enough Last of Us, so that might be something.
yeah. I actually went on Reddit and looked this up and saw what people were saying, and there's a few people that have shared the sentiment that Tencent, uh, they said, of course they ripped off that game, kind of insinuating that Tencent has kind of just taken ideas and ran with their own in the past as well. I'm not really familiar with other IPs they've come out with or other games that they've released. Are you more well versed on that, Matt or Denny? In
Was
my research, I
Palworld
think they
Tencent?
had
I
they,
don't think so.
I don't think so. They've also done Call of Duty Mobile, a few more mobile
They've
games
done
as well.
PUBG Mobile, Tower of
PUBG.
Fantasy.
Yeah, so I found that
Uh,
interesting. It's like
yeah,
people say that they're known or not, or at least they believe or they perceive that they just take other people's ideas and make something along those lines. But it's different. You mentioned it last week. It's different when something is inspired by and just a blatant clone. So
Well, especially
yeah,
with that whole part of the story where they literally went to Sony. They're like, "Yo, you want to make a Horizon together?" And Sony was like, "No, we're good." And they're like, "Wait,
what?
what do you mean? Like this is not
Why
going the way that
not?
this is not going the way that we expected it to."
nope, nope.
So it's like I feel like once you loop that in, it really
Yeah,
just becomes a pretty damning thing. And if they're already ripping through promo material and doing whatever they can to distance themselves from this lawsuit,
yes,
probably not a good sign for them.
absolutely, man. Anyways, I just wanted to follow up on that piece because I thought, like you say, it was pretty funny. So let's move on to this next article here by Demi Williams. After Concord's flop, Sony admits its live service plan is not entirely going smoothly, but says it will continue and learn from its mistakes. So this article essentially states Sony's CFO Lin Tao acknowledged during a Q&A following financial disclosures August 7th that while the company remains committed to its live service strategy, it's not entirely going smoothly, citing setbacks like the shutdown of Concord and the delay of Marathon. Oof and double oof. Still, she emphasized substantial progress over the 5 years, live service titles like Helldivers 2, MLB The Show, Gran Turismo 7, and Destiny 2. Now, no doubt those are big heavy hitters, and they contribute a significant amount to consistent revenue. These titles accounted for 40% of Sony's first-party software revenue in Q1, with expectations of 20 to 30% over the full year. She assured that Sony will learn from current missteps to improve future rollouts. So, there's admitting that live service isn't going so smoothly, but there's also looking at the numbers that said, oh, this is where the success is. So Matt, why do you think that this tension exists, and why and where should Sony really move towards? Like, is it a live service future, or do we focus on those, single player AAA experiences?
I'm kind of mixed because I do think 40% of their first party software revenue is not an insubstantial number for the
Yes,
amount of money that those
exactly.
games pulled. The thing is that I would love to see this comparatively to a year where they did drop actual first party games that people were looking forward to, because
Yeah.
there wasn't really that in Q1, right?
Mhm.
There wasn't like that big PlayStation IP that people have been waiting for. So like
Yes.
it is good that they seem to understand that they messed up. But what my curiosity kind of extends to is, what is the inner dialogue now? Like,
Yeah.
they've talked about how they're kind of going through all the existing projects with a fine tooth comb to kind of, gutting and doing whatever they need to keep whatever games alive. But like, what in their mind do they see as being their next big success?
Yeah.
Is it going to be Fair Games? Probably not. Is it going to be Marathon? Unfortunately, probably not.
Probably not.
Is it going to be either the Horizon MMO or the Monster Hunter like? Probably not. I'm
Yeah.
not saying that any one of these games are going to be bad, but like, it would take a truly incredible showing and a truly incredible launch to get a lot of people, and like the numbers that I'm assuming that they're looking for, to get them
Yes.
on board for that kind of performance that they're looking for. We didn't talk about this, but like, we got a story a week or two ago about how WB is still chasing the live service dragon after
Yeah.
their failure after failure after failure after failure. And it's like, is that one hit worth all of the rest? You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like, is the
Yeah.
one tree in a scorned battlefield worth it? Or would you rather have a more lush forest? I just don't understand what the overall plan here is.
Mhm.
Because like, looking into the crystal ball, like thinking about what does their next 5 years look like? They may launch 1 or 2 live service games. And like, if they do, like, myself as like a diehard PlayStation fanboy, as a Sony pony, barely has enough
PlayStation
time
Prince.
barely has enough time for a Persona live service game on my phone
Yes.
for me to have enough significant investment on a PlayStation live service game. I don't know what that would take. I said a PlayStation All Stars Battle Royale too. But like, I genuinely don't know what that looks like, because they're chasing a market that is heavily saturated, that people are very entrenched in their existing space. And like we just saw with Battlefield, there's hope for somebody else to come in and kind of, rattle
Yeah.
the market a little bit. But the staying power is the question. Helldivers succeeded because it was different. Gran Turismo succeeded because it's a legacy franchise that has been absent for a hot minute. MLB The Show is the only baseball game in the market and consistently delivers on a high scale. These
Yes.
are unique properties,
Mhm.
not 4 more first-person shooter games.
Absolutely.
you know?
Absolutely that.
So like I think I have no problem with like a balanced approach, but there needs to be a more weighted factor on the first party story driven stuff that they're known for,
Mhm.
and less on here is a sea of live service games. God, please like one.
Yeah. Yeah. So, Denny, do you think this is a kind of false optimism? Is this just something to show face to everybody? And are they chasing shadows here?
Yeah, absolutely. As you were reading this, the only meme that popped in my mind is the one of that wiener dog sitting at a table where everything's on fire,
Yeah.
saying, "This is
Yeah,
fine.
this is fine.
This is fine. We're okay. We're doing good." Because I sit here and I look at this and I just kind of want to pick it apart, right? Because 40% of first party software revenue for Q1, but for the full year, it's been a little less, probably between
Mhm.
20 and 30%.
Yeah.
And just while we were talking, I was kind of, yep, bricked up. There we go.
This
Oh
has that same
man.
energy to me. You
It
know what I mean?
really
Like this
does.
is
Totally.
the this is fine energy.
This is
Yes.
Concord behind the wall.
Right. Right.
Um,
And it's so sad.
it is.
It is sad, but also like what's next? So what do you think Sony has to do?
If I was Sony and I was gonna do something, I would scrap live service. You have some that do it great. Don't make it a focus.
Mm.
Don't make it kind of uh, everything you're talking about and bragging about, because we've said this so many times that every hardware manufacturer, the big three, if you will, have gone in a different direction, right? How many live
Mhm.
service games are on a Nintendo platform right now that you could think of off the top
Sure.
of your head? Right?
Right.
They have their experience that they deliver. Sony has their experience that they deliver, and Microsoft does whatever Microsoft does. And I think Sony needs to stick to that, because you take a look
Mhm.
at their software sales right now. Like, I just pulled up a couple wiki pages. The only game, like you said, that actually did well was Helldivers 2. Other than that, everything is a first person, or not a first person, but like a single player, story driven cinematic experience.
Right.
Um, so for me, it's focus on that, know what your players want. And um, the weird thing that caught my eyes, does Gran Turismo 7 actually count as a live service game?
I guess so, because they still has like I think anything kind of falls into that camp if you have like regular DLC and new tracks added and so on and so forth with things that like
Yeah.
a cash shop that you can buy stuff with is like it's kind of that
Yeah.
weird gray area of like it is but it isn't but it is really.
Right.
And I believe that they do hold events
Mhm.
that
Fair.
kind of come
Fair.
in and out of the game, but
So,
heavy participation.
but you have a core single player experience.
Yep.
That
Yes.
is, you don't have to do the DLC and the events. You can just
Correct.
do the core experience. So, I mean, if you really, really want to go live service, make it an add-on or a value add for a game with a core experience. That'd be as most as I would
Right.
do.
You know, unironically, and I know we've clowned on this a lot in the last few weeks, especially, but I sincerely do think they should go back to the drawing board on a Last of Us multiplayer game and give it to,
Yo.
but make it some sort. I genuinely think that the hunger for factions never
Yeah,
went
dude.
away. So
Yeah.
it doesn't have to be as big as they wanted or as crazy as they clearly planned for it to be, but like let Naughty Dog take off the kind of the gloves a little bit, let
Mhm.
loose a little bit of control over that IP, and let somebody else, whether it's in collaboration with this is like a Bungie Naughty Dog collab or whatever it is that they want to do with it. I genuinely do think that there is an inherently interesting experience in that if they can figure it
Mhm.
out and if they could do it in a way that is different, because like that kind of era of games has kind of passed now, and I feel like if they were
Yes.
to drop it in 2 or 3 years at a point where let's say the season 3 of the show is a banger and we're getting it in 2027, let's say that fever pitch starts to come around again, that game
Sure.
can be successful if you're looking all for a live
Mhm.
service game like that differentiates. Like, I mean, look at Grounded, right? Like a
Yeah.
genuine Xbox live service hit because it's unlike anything else out there.
Yes.
You need that kind of that factor, that X factor that is not readily seen. And from a lot of what we've seen from PlayStation's live service, I don't see it there. Helldivers has it, yeah,
Yeah.
but like Fair Games and a lot of the other stuff that we've seen, does it have it? It might be
Yeah.
too early to tell, but it doesn't feel like it.
That's such a great point, because it's one thing to say like, okay, we know that we've messed up and this is really messy the way that it's going out. Like our live service plan is kind of rough right now. But then to double down and even triple down and say like, but this is still what we're going for here. It is a little bit disheartening from the consumer end, because like we're and this seems to be a trend with the PlayStation kind of ecosystem, is like we're blue balling the whole time. Like we're we're really just like anticipating these really great experiences, and then they're just either gone or not fully realized. So that's a really, really great point. It's interesting how things are moving. I don't know that I have faith in the statement that they are going to continue with the live service stuff. And I don't even really know where I stand on whether or not it has to be like a new IP and a new experience, because I agree that Last of Us Factions could have been great. It was already in a universe and a beloved IP, and I think that the kind of ideas already lent it to being a live service experience. So I don't know, man. So we'll see. We'll keep following this. This is directly in line with what we've been discussing over the past year or so. So we'll see what happens. Moving along here. Rob Fahy, I'm so sorry, I'm butchering your name. Wrote an opinion piece saying Sony's confidence in PlayStation is well placed, despite criticism of Sony's first party lineup and missteps in the live service stuff. The PlayStation business is performing exceptionally well, he says. Sony has benefited not only from its strong internal studios, but also from Microsoft's continued mismanagement of Xbox Game Studios, which has seen many would-be exclusives end up selling better on PlayStation. Oof. While PlayStation 5's exclusive portfolio may not match the PS4's at the similar stage, delays are largely due to timing and shift in strategy toward live service, which has yet to pay off. Still, financials show that PlayStation is thriving, with rises in revenues, profits, and engagement. Looking to 2026, Sony appears to have achieved its generational goal, positioning PS5 as the default home console before Grand Theft Auto 6. Likely the biggest entertainment launch of the decade. So with that in mind, the live service conversation in mind as well, like, is this, is the delays of GTA 6, is that a strategic thing that's happening right now, which is in favor of PlayStation? What do you think, Denny?
I don't know. Does it give more time for other games? Absolutely. Does it give more time for people to buy the console? For sure. I mean, it's tough to say. I don't know if they've said anything, and I doubt they will. But I doubt this game would ever come on Game Pass day one, right?
No way.
Probably
No
not.
way.
No way.
Not
No
a
way.
chance.
So right then and there, it gives me no incentive to get an Xbox or to buy it on Xbox. I'd rather play it on my PS5, which is probably what I'm going to be doing. So yeah, I guess it helps them out, and I think just there's a comment here about just Xbox's mismanagement, and helping Sony position itself. It's kind of like you win by default then.
Sure.
So yeah,
They're being opportunists, if you will.
yes, taking
See,
advantage.
Yes.
That's the thing with PlayStation this generation. PlayStation has the trajectory of like 90% of white men, where they just kind of fail upwards without any real accounting for their ability or what they're
Oh,
doing.
that's good.
You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
PlayStation 5 came off out of an incredibly successful generation, the PS4.
Mhm.
And for every stumble that they've had, Xbox has stumbled worse. And it's just one of those things where it's just literally a comedy of errors at this point. For like every mistake that they have made or haven't made, there was something else around that time that kind of took the shadow, or took the shine off of that space. And now in a point where, like, again, if GTA came out a year or two ago, would this have been a different conversation? Possibly,
Yeah.
if Xbox had secured the marketing rights, if they really pushed the Series X as the place to play your GTA 6 in a world before the Pro. This may have
Right.
been a different conversation, but it's not, because GTA 6 took time. It kept getting, it got delayed or whatever else. It's now coming next year at a time where
Yes.
Xbox has thrown in the towel.
Yeah.
And PlayStation has positioned itself, whether it's their I genuinely believe it's their luck more so than any strategy, because I feel like this has just been one trip after another without them ever truly falling flat on their face. But it's
Yeah.
just been this kind of like, oh, we're back. Oh, we're not back. Oh, we're back. Oh, we're not back. Oh, it's like they're kind of like drunk climbing a ladder. So it's like, I
Yeah.
feel like this generation for them has the potential to finish very strong in its final few years. If a lot of what we think is coming hits across Wolverine, across Ghost of Yota is imminent, whatever cool first party stuff they still have in the pipeline, because I feel like the rest of this gen will go largely quiet on the live service front outside of like one or two, because clearly they're back to the drawing board.
Yeah.
There is a potential here for them to rewrite the narrative a little bit, because say what you will, the PS5 itself is a fantastic console. The controller
Absolutely.
is genuinely next gen. What we have here
The
in front of
best.
us is genuinely great. They
Yeah.
just haven't been able to capitalize on it. So if they're able to, and they're able to kind of reset the narrative a little bit, as they kind of on the inevitable road towards the PS6, I feel like history will look back kinder to the PS5. If they
Sure.
can't do that, then how much does it matter if Microsoft is positioning itself and literally their messaging is you can play our shit everywhere and anywhere?
Yeah, totally. And that's a great point, because in the hardware kind of tech conversation, while the Xbox Series X is very capable, is very powerful, it's so interesting that the push was like, okay, but you don't need it anymore. And then everybody was just like, okay, well, I guess PS5. And I feel like that is the consumer sentiment right now, is like, well, I guess. And like that's not like in any respect bragging rights. It's just like that was an opportunity that was taken.
I think you kind of hit on a really interesting point there, because the whole sell of the Xbox Series X was, this is the most powerful console.
Right.
Here is the power to play Silk Song, a game that doesn't exist. But here is the power for you to do that.
Yes.
And that was never really capitalized on. And for now, again, the rumors and the scuttlebutt about how Xbox is planning for their next kind of at-home console to be even again more powerful than the rumored PS6. What's the point?
Yep.
Totally.
What's the point? If you're touting yourself as the most expensive and powerful thing, and again, they have a great lineup incoming. What's the point if I can play them on my PlayStation 6, if I can get both things at a different value, if I can play this on my PC, what is the point for me to pick up that box?
Absolutely. Like the word that comes to mind is obsolete.
Mm-hmm.
And Xbox said that about themselves. Like, we are now obsolete in this piece. So we're gonna go in a different direction. All right, PS5, what you got? And PS5 was like,
hey, we got Wolverine coming, we got GTA 6 coming, there's games coming, you know what I mean?
So yeah, that's totally right. Like, you guys really hit it. Like, they're just kind of failing upwards. So good. I did want to kind of continue in this vein. Pulled up an article by Mr. Dennis Price, one of our own. Shouts out Dennis. Showing shift from hardware to community engagement platform. This was interesting. Sony PlayStation division is undergoing strategic pivot, moving away from being a hardware-centric business and toward a platform-focused, community-driven model. Senior VP Sadahiko Hayakawa confirmed that Sony is now prioritizing expanding engagement rather than relying solely on console sales. The shift is evident in moves like publishing Helldivers on Xbox, senior director for multi-platform and account management, and actively planning to bring PlayStation Studios games to PC, Switch, and other platforms. These efforts align with broader industry trends favoring multi-platform reach and recurring engagement over traditional exclusivity. So, right off the bat, Matt, what is a community engagement platform, and why are we shifting away from hardware?
I don't think this is a shift away from hardware. I think this is them now adding a new pillar to the equation. They know that their hardware is important. And I don't think that this is them saying, like we kind of spoke about a couple of weeks ago, I don't think this is them saying we're going multi-platform day one. I feel like they are going to have more of their things, more of their games, especially their legacy games like your Spider-Mans, your God of Wars. I'm sure all of those are incoming on Switch too. I have no doubt in my mind that those are coming.
Right.
But like, how many times did you see a thing where like, you know, Mortal Kombat 1 looks like literal potatoes on the original Switch, right?
Yeah.
Like you don't want that. You don't want that narrative around any of your games, right? The Switch 2 is now at a point where you have rough parity for some things. You have a point where their games sell well on PC when they move them. So what I think this to me means, you know, whether they expand PlayStation Plus onto more of a Game Pass like thing where they do want it on your TVs, they do want it on your XYZs, they do want it on your phone, and I hope what that means is that experience and that UI gets exponentially better, because right now it's not great.
Yeah.
What I do think this means is that they're going to go harder in on PlayStation Plus. I think I saw another thing where they were talking about how like it accounted for like 20 or 30% of their sales, PlayStation Plus, like of their revenue, PlayStation Plus alone.
PlayStation
so like
Plus,
clearly that thing is printing money.
Mm-hmm.
If they can have that cake and eat it too with exclusive launches on a platform that they know is going to be exclusive for 6 months, a year, whatever, I think that's what this reads more to me like. I still don't see a world where Spider-Man 3 or the next God of War or whatever else will be day and date anywhere else. They want you playing on PlayStation. They want you on the PS6. They want you on the PlayStation 6 handheld. They want you in their ecosystem. And the only way that's going to happen is if, you know, they still have that. We're going to keep the road to the gate is getting shorter, but that gate still exists. We'll let the cattle out eventually. But it's not going to be like 2 or 3 or 5 years like it's been for some of these titles. It might be 6 months. It might be a year. But I do think they're going to be much more platform agnostic in their long term while still being like fiercely protective in the short.
Yeah. Denny, how do you feel about this hardware conversation?
Well, kind of just while Matt was explaining everything or kind of talking about that, it made me think of course, Final Fantasy and the last couple of Final Fantasy games, right?
Sure.
You had your remake for 7 and you have Rebirth for 7 and you had 16. Remake and 16 were PlayStation exclusives for a good period of time, anywhere between 1 year and 18 months.
Right.
And then they came out later for PC. Now Remake is coming out for Xbox, and I think it's even coming out for the Switch too. So, you know, they're already kind of doing that with those third-party developer games. Maybe this is just them doing it more. Maybe they'll continue to get certain exclusives and keep them for a period of time. And yeah, maybe they do shorten the window. That would be great. People who want to play it now can play it on PlayStation. People who want to wait 6 months and get it on Steam.
Yeah.
That makes perfect sense to me.
So what I'm hearing is that you know, we are perceiving this as Sony isn't moving away from that like Xbox did, right? They're not moving away from their hardware because that is actually like beloved and it's clearly succeeding. It's that they want to extend their reach to people to perhaps aren't in the PlayStation ecosystem and indoctrinate them into that, you know, and that's actually a solid move. I understand why.
And it's smart because, like, let's say I'm someone who's been an exclusively PC or even Nintendo player for any number of years. Oh, look, Spider-Man 1 and 2 are now out on a platform that I can access them. Oh, these games are fantastic. Let me see what else Sony has on this table. God of War, Horizon, so on and so forth, to the point where you're like, I've played all or a number of the titles that I've had that are available to me now, but I kind of really want to play the next Spider-Man right when it comes out. I guess I'm gonna go in on a console. You know what I mean? Like that pathway. Well, I don't think will be for everyone. I think will exist for the people that like get bit by the bug, and I think that they need to. I think they need to let that happen for it to work properly. And again, like by all means, the more people that can play these games across whatever space that they want to is only a good thing. For the people that are going to get pissed, I've been like, you know, I can't wait for like the videos of people like smashing their PS5s, sledgehammers, being like, I only got this because nobody else could play it. What do you mean now other people can play this game? You piece of shit. You know what I mean? Like I'm really looking forward to those people getting real angry because accessibility matters. People have different entry points and different ways and different budgets that they're able to work with. If this pathway is available to people so that these games get into the more hands of more people, that is wonderful. That is absolutely wonderful.
Absolutely. Let people play. Yes. I share that sentiment, honestly. And like if you're smashing consoles, If you're smashing consoles, bro, go to therapy. Go to
PlayStation
therapy,
already got
okay?
your money. PlayStation already got your money.
Exactly that, yo. Come on now, jeez, man. People out here struggling to buy lettuce, and you smashing consoles. I see the time going by, but I did want to touch on a couple things before we round this out. I wanted to talk about some things that are upcoming from our very own Bobby. Rogue Factor's Hell Is Us will receive a playable demo next week. I'm really excited about this. Rogue Factor and Akon have announced that the free demo for their upcoming third-person action adventure, Hell Is Us, will launch August 12th, bringing the experience to PS5, Xbox Series X, and PC following a limited PC-only preview back in June. The demo promises an upgraded experience featuring smoother performance, 4K at 60 frames, and improved stability on consoles compared to the initial version. True to the game's core design, this hands-off exploratory experience offers an immersive world devoid of maps, waypoints, or quest markers. Guys, I don't know about you. I'm looking forward to this. I know that like a lot of people were kind of comparing it to Death Stranding and also, Death Stranding with swords. What are your thoughts on this? Are you excited to try this out if you haven't already?
Well, as someone who has their head in the sand about Hell Is Us, knows nothing about it, I'll try it. I miss the days of demos. I think demos are definitely important. So for me, if there's a demo, I will definitely play it, and it'll give me a lot more to kind of base my judgment on than just looking at trailers and gameplay, or footage. So I will definitely give a spin and report back.
And it's low commitment.
That's it.
Low commitment. If it's a demo,
it's free. It's free.
And it's free. And it's free. That's right. Matt, what do you think?
See, I'm really glad this is happening. Anybody who knows me knows that my brain is, loosely scattered gravel, kind of all shaking around in one space. I'm dumb as bricks when it comes to puzzles and shit and gaming. Like I turn that shit way down if I have that option too. This game, from the ambiance, from the look, everything about this game speaks to me. But the more I hear about how puzzly and how open-ended it is, the more nervous that I get. Because I don't want to spend money on an experience that I'm going to find inherently frustrating by design. And those games are for lots of people, but they're not for me. So I'm definitely going to be checking out the demo because I want to know if this is something that I can vibe with. Because sometimes, again, I played a bunch of Blueprints. Some of these games that are more heady than others, I do vibe with on occasion. So I'm glad the demo exists because it lets me check it out to see if this is a game I'm going to be investing in, because late August and September is packed as shit. And I don't know. I need to try this game out before I commit to it.
That is absolutely fair. Side note, Blueprints, I finally tried it, and I understand why you can get into it and not put it down. I did get into that, and I had to because I need to finish Expedition 33, had to put it down for those reasons. But yeah, that's a good game too. Any other thoughts? I already went to you, Denny. I'm sorry. Moving on to this one is very intriguing. One of the studios behind Guitar Hero rises from the ashes as Red Octane Games with development on a new rhythm game in full swing, set to be revealed later this year. This is also from our Dennis Price. After 15 years of dormant, wow, I wrote of dormant. After 15 years dormant, the original Guitar Hero publisher, now reborn as Red Octane Games under Embracer's Group Free Mode, has officially returned to rhythm gaming, led by industry vet Simon. How do you say that name? Ebeher. I'm so sorry. A former Guitar Hero production director, the studio brings together veterans of Guitar Hero, DJ Hero, along with new voices from the rhythm game community. The Huang brothers, who founded the original studio, are serving as advisors. Guys, does this do anything for you? What do you guys feel about rhythm games? Guitar Hero specifically. What does this do for you, Matt?
Dude, I'm amped. I played the shit out of Guitar Hero and out of Rock Band. I really love like the peripherals of it all. You know what I mean? Like just that plastic, that tick, 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 tick. Like we even completed it in like a Rock Band competition at the Bread and Honey Festival in Streetsville, Ontario. We won like $300 back in the day. You know what I mean? Like that's not insignificant
that's crazy
for a teenager, you know? I love it. I'm very in on a new experience. I'm waited with bated breath to see what they show me because like I'm in. I'm down.
Yes. What about you, Denny? Man, tell me.
Yeah, man. Guitar Hero 2 was probably the second game I bought for my 360. I still have the
Hey.
guitar somewhere. I don't know. Mine's not hung up. But yeah, I had played those games for many nights, played those songs, and it got me into some music that I never had like kept on my iPod at the time before. So I'm excited for it. Is it time? Sure. I mean, revivals happen all the time and they do well. Like look at the recent couple of Tony Hawk games.
Sure.
So I'm here for it. I want it. Let's see what they do.
You touched on it a little bit last week, but nostalgia is a big selling point right now, guys. And so this right here, I think is a great move for people like myself who are musicians and play music and stuff like that. It's such a funny experience because as soon as I got into rhythm gaming, I realized I'm shit at rhythm gaming.
Same,
It's
bro.
bad.
Same.
It's so bad. And so it's funny because after playing Guitar Hero, I found that I was more precise on my guitar. So playing Guitar Hero actually made me a better guitarist, which was super, super cool. It kind of made me hone in on the precision and the timing of things and the feel of things. So needless to say, I am friggin' stoked for this. Like Matt mentioned, the friggin' Rock Band era. Me and my buddy who I work with constantly talk about like maybe putting together some like Rock Band nights or some rhythm gaming nights because it's just such a fun thing to do and experience with people and people in the same room as well. So really, really stoked for this. Hoping that it succeeds and looking forward to reporting on it a little bit more. Quickly. I have a lot of things to talk about. There's also from Bobby. Let's talk about Marvel Tokon. Fighting Souls. Let's freaking go. You guys mentioned it a little bit last week. PlayStation Studios and Arc System Works, in partnership with Marvel Games, offering fans an early preview of their upcoming 4v4 tag team fighter. Closed beta exclusively for PS5, running from September 5 to 7. Players can register via the official PlayStation beta program. The beta includes 6 playable characters. Listen up: Iron Man, Captain America, Miss Marvel, Star-Lord, Storm, and friggin' Doctor Doom. Let's friggin' go. Battling across Marvel's New York environment. It features online and offline play, rollback netcode, spectator mode, and a tutorial. Guys.
Yes.
How we feeling? Denny, tell me.
I'm trying so hard to sign up right now, but I don't remember my password for PSN.
Legit, that's exactly
I don't know
what
my
I'm doing
password
right now.
for PSN.
I'm genuinely doing the exact same thing right now. I'm trying frantically to register for this beta program.
Absolutely. I hope you guys get in and register. Get those passwords in. Come on now. This is something I'm incredibly excited for as someone who loves fighting games and Marvel. This is just friggin' since like Marvel versus Capcom, let's say, I have been kind of eagerly awaiting something new, and this looks new. One thing that like I really took away from the gameplay that I've seen is like the design of these characters. So fresh, so friggin' cool and flashy. I'm all about this, you guys. So who do you think is going to be a part of your roster when you play?
Spider-Man all day.
All day,
of
course.
Spider-Man all day. I'm really excited for this game. I'm not a huge fighting game person. It depends on like the IP and the thing to really pull me in. And like everything that I'm seeing about this game just speaks to me entirely. I think my squad. I want some Spidey. I want some Cap. But like there's cool stuff in here that I want to play. And Miss Marvel, dude. Miss Marvel is a G. I love me some Miss Marvel.
Miss Marvel's crazy. She go hard. What about you, Danny? Who are you using?
I don't know. I'm gonna have to try them all and figure it out. I did that with the last fighting game I was heavily invested with was Dragon Ball Fighter Z. Fighter Z. So yeah, this might be a day one for me. I want the Flex Strike too, actually.
Yeah.
I want that so bad. Now I've sat on it. I've looked at it. I've just stared at it, and it's like, yes, you will be mine.
I've actually never owned a fight stick, but like, you know, when you guys talked about it last week, it could have been, you could have sold me. So
Bryce,
yeah, I'm eager about this. I'm eager
Bryce,
about this. Yes.
you don't need lettuce for a couple months. It's fine. You don't.
Yeah, I'll go on a diet of ice for a bit.
Just have sleep for dinner. You'll be fine.
All right. Well, listen, let's I have a couple other things, but I'm gonna skip this last thing for a second just to go into our questions.
Hold on. Can I pull up one news story real quick?
Yes, please.
I just really want to talk about this because it's one of my most anticipated games of the year. We finally got a release date, so I'm gonna hijack
please.
This is coming from, I think this is Dennis. Demon School finally got a release date coming on September 3rd, just packing in another friggin' game into an already busy ass season. For anybody unaware, this is like a strategy tactical RPG with like very, very heavy Persona elements in it, where like the combat is actually like you have like a grid style like this, but you position all your moves at the same time and everything pops off at once. So it's this like tactical RPG-ness of like trying to plan moves, also like intercepting enemy attacks, while also just like being a teenager, hanging out with your friends, doing some dating, doing some social systems, like, you know, cooking. There you go, karaoke. This was supposed to come out last year, and it's been delayed a couple times. I played a demo of it a little while ago and really liked what I was playing. One of my most anticipated games this year, and it's right around the corner, and I cannot wait. Anybody who likes your Final Fantasy Tactics, who likes your Persona, keep this on your radar, because I think this is one well worth keeping an eye on, because this looks hella dope. And what's up, Todd? Back to you.
What up, God? And not to mention a beautiful art style.
Gorgeous,
like,
bro.
Oh man, and the color palette's a little bit darker, and like it's really, really cool stuff, you guys. So if you appreciate the art style on top of those mechanics, yeah, check that game out for sure. All right. I did want to get this question in because it's an important one. Okay, from Max R Power: tea or coffee? Starting with Denny.
If it's between the two, coffee.
Okay, just a simple. Okay, straight to the point. Right on, Matt. Coffee. Is there an answer for you?
I'm a coffee man. I like a good tea now and again, but if I have two in front of me, like, I'm gonna go for the coffee 9 times out of 10. What about you?
100p. Well, myself, being someone who does work in coffee, I think I'm a little partial to that. I'm learning so much about, you know, coffee that's outside of, you know, this typical well understood taste of diner coffee. That's not the only coffee that's out there right now. We are trying this coffee from Ethiopia called Yirgacheffe, and it tastes like peaches and has some floral notes in there. So if you've not tried you know, coffee in that vein, explore it more. So yeah, that's my answer. Coffee. One other question, okay, and this will segue into it's not a gaming thing, but it's adjacent to Sony. So we're gonna I had to fit it in here. How do we feel about the new classic suit in Spider-Man 4 in the MCU, everybody? How do we feel? Because we've been getting some news, we've been getting some pictures, some footage. Where are we at? Where are we at? Our resident Peter Parker himself, Matt, what do you feel?
Dude, I am over the fucking moon. Like, this is probably my second favorite live action suit. I still think Andrew Garfield's and the Amazing Spider-Man 2 takes my top spot, only because of the giant eyes. But this is like, this is Alex Ross. Like to a T. This is Alex Ross, like, entirely in it. Like, it just looks beautiful. For anybody who like looks anything up online, like, you can see like they're using practical effects. You see them actually swinging around. Daniel Destin Cretton, I believe is his name, the director who did Shang-Chi is on this, which makes me insanely excited. Everything that I'm seeing about this movie, every trickle of information that we're getting, I am locked the fuck in. I love this suit. Like, I was talking with some friends about it, some other comic nerds, and like, we see like the wrinkles on the suit and shit. I hope they don't like CGI all that shit out. I love how like how lived in this suit feels, and I hope it doesn't get like shredded and torn to bits in the first like 20 minutes. And now he's gonna have to make like another one. Like, let him live in the suit for a while. It is beautiful.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Danny, talk to me.
I also love it heavily. I've heard things online that this may not be the suit we get through the whole movie, though. So sorry, Matt. Which is kind of like that first trailer they had with the raised webbing and everything for 9 seconds is maybe not the same as the suit. I think it looks great. I love it. I remember seeing the final swing scene in No Way Home and loving it at that time too. And this was the suit I used when I played Spider-Man 2 on PS5.
Yeah, hell yeah.
That or like the 94 symbiote one or the animated symbiote one.
Hell yeah.
But no, it's great.
I'm
it's
fucking
classic.
sorry. The what? Say that word again.
Symbiote? Did I say what?
Hold on.
I want to hear
the
the outrage.
How do I end this stream?
Symbiote.
Okay. Now that guy's gone.
Wait, what did I say wrong?
It's the symbiote.
That's what I said. Symbiote.
Symbiote.
I heard it that time too. Okay. I heard it. I thought I freaked out because I thought I said like they say it in the Vendom in the Vendom movie.
The Vendom.
Stop. I'm done. I'm out. Just kick me out again. It's fine. It's okay. Just give me the boot. Goodbye.
That was triggered. Ron, you know it takes a lot to get me angry. My God, I felt that in my gut. It's like that reverberated from my soul. But I feel you. I hope that this isn't it. But like I'm so very in. Rice, how do you like the suit?
I'm all in, you guys. I am so all in. And listen, like we've had a lot of Spider-Man, you know what I mean? And we've also had a lot of the MCU, and there's been a lot of questions on where that's going. It'll be so nice to have a Spider-Man movie with this classic suit. Not to mention practical effects. My goodness, you guys, like I appreciate the work that went into the CGI stuff. Do not get me fucking wrong, but it is going to be so nice to see the work that goes into the practical stuff. This suit, like you said, the freaking Denny stroking out live on air.
Did everyone else misread?
And guys, the energy around this as well. Like I was really looking into the press stuff, and Tom Holland even saying that he was able to interact with fans. This is the first time that fans were actually there day one. And to be able to kind of feel that energy. I think that we can all share that as an audience as well. So I'm really excited about this. There's going to be a lot to talk about, you know, new villain. There's going to be a lot more coming through. So I'm hoping that maybe we can talk a lot. I know it's not gaming, but it's Spidey. And Sony owns Spidey. So we got to talk about it. You know what I'm saying? We're all obligated. But this does bring us to the end of today's episode.
We have one more question. Yeah,
okay,
Todd Oxford writes in saying, Todd Oxford saying, will PlayStation ever nail streaming? They started with PlayStation Now in 2014, 5 years before Xbox, and it seems like it's gone nowhere. Todd, I share your sentiments. It has gotten a hell of a lot better. I remember the first couple of years of PlayStation Now was genuinely like fucking like it was broken bad to shit. Where we are now with the PlayStation Portal and how well that thing actually works, assuming your internet is solid, obviously there's a giant asterisk on whenever we talked about anything streaming. It has gotten a lot better to the point where like the PlayStation Portal is genuinely a great product if you have the internet to run it at properly. Like I've played many games on that thing from varying distances, like from, you know, the hundreds of kilometers between my house and my parents' house to like, you know, even traveling for work and picking it up and playing it on hotel internet. It's great. Like it is, they are not as like forward with it anymore, but I do feel like we have shit on the horizon for that. I think you're going to see that become much more prevalent with the PS6 handheld. The Portal, for the folks that have a Portal know that the streaming has gotten pretty close to perfect. There are hiccups, there are issues. Of course, it's the internet. There is nothing is ever 100% stable, but it is pretty damn good. And I think Denny can back me up here.
Yeah, I can totally back you up on that. Yes. I stream a lot of my games on my PS5. Even I don't even put them on the hard drive when I'm playing games off PS Plus. And there's rarely been a time where I've noticed any sort of lag or latency or rubber banding or anything to make it feel like it's not playing right off the hard drive. So, it has been a good experience.
I want to stream without owning a console. You can with PlayStation, like PlayStation Plus, like the PC app.
The PC
you
app,
don't need a PlayStation console, and obviously the library is getting bigger in this, but there's still a lot there. You can play PlayStation games now without owning a console if you live exclusively on streaming. It is not as good as Game Pass. Like, let's just get that right out in front. But there's still a ton there for people who don't own a PlayStation or don't have that like kind of experience. You can do that now, and it works pretty well.
Absolutely. Yeah, I can echo that sentiment as well, as I have been playing the Spider-Man games with my son, but not necessarily wanting to install them on the hard drive because I have other big games installed on there. Streaming is the option, and you know, I've recently upgraded my internet so that the streaming can hold up, and I've had 0 issues. So I'm thankful that it's not where it was, to your point there, Todd. But I would give it another shake if you haven't already.
Yep.
Yeah.
Shake that.
Did I miss any other questions?
No,
that might have been last one.
We good.
Okay, awesome. Well, guys, that brings us to the end of today's episode. Just want to say thanks to Matt for the opportunity to lead the charge and hone in on the powers of a podcast. It's truly an honor meeting together every week. I just want to say that, and talking about things we love and are incredibly passionate about, and to be doing it with people that I feel so safe around, and really be able to articulate something as myself is such a big deal, honestly. So like, for whatever it's worth, if you're a listener, if you are a viewer, if you are checking us out for the first time, honestly, I am here because I love these people, and I love gaming, and I really just want to share this with everybody. So thanks for the opportunity today, Matt. And yeah, and Denny, I wanted to just share that, like, dude, like, you've been here through the streamer experience that we both have.
Yeah.
And it's incredible that we get to share all of that stuff and figure it out together. This is truly like the best thing ever. Yeah. So Matt, where the hell can people find you, my good sir?
Yeah, people can find me all over goconsequentialgo.net. I just want to give you both your flowers. You know, I kind of threw this at you in the last couple of weeks. You both hosted the hell out of the last couple of shows. This will not be the last time that this happens. I think both of your voices are unique and incredibly important, and I think both of you deserve the time and the space to become something truly influential in the space. You already are to me. You already are to our listeners. I know that much. So true. When Court and I were talking about what we wanted this version of our show to be like, it was always folks like yourselves, and it was always this community and the love that we have for one another. So I wanted to, you know, give you both your flowers. You both crushed it. I look forward to the next time this happens. And now that I know that, like, I can take my hands off the wheel a little bit, I'm about to wreck this shit. Let's go.
Oh shit, let's go. All right, and Danny, where can people find you, good sir?
Everywhere and nowhere at the same time, apparently. Instagram, Twitch, and all the other spots are in Linktree. So Linktree/dinner can gaming, that one.
And
and if you want to follow me, good friends, and if you want to learn how to say the word symbiote, then you can follow me on my Linktree.
Danny, I'll go in and order a burrito. Can I get some of that guacamole, some of that symbiote?
You can find me on my Linktree /rice BOYYY TV.
Excuse me?
On that note, thank you, everybody. You guys have a great week, and we will see you next time. Peace.